G-Sport for Girls has been championing women's sports since the year 2006, and now 16 years later, and the motion still continues. Hello and welcome to the very first lunch, which is the Hall of Fame event that is hosted by G-Sport for Girls. And I can tell you that so many legends, icons, role models, and women who are doing phenomenal things in the world of sport have gathered with one mission only, and that is to celebrate the power of recognition. My name is Itimeleng Hosigariakabanda, delighted to be in your company, and I'm here to give you full access with everything that's going to be taking place today. So I need you to do me one favor. What you need to do is follow G-Sport for Girls and use the only hashtags that matter. It's hashtag gsport17 and hashtag the power of recognition. Come with me and let's see what goes on.
And welcome to the G-Sport Hall of Fame 2022 luncheon. My name is Vusiwe Ngobo. I will be your MC here this morning. So today is really all about celebrating women in sport. And our theme here today is the power of recognition. And I'm certain that as women in sport, we all know all too well how important recognition is in the sporting fraternity. And that's really just what we want to celebrate here today. Now, today our luncheon is also just held in honor of Charlotte Maxeke, a woman who really was the first Black woman in a lot of the spaces that she operated in. And she also understood that in order to have meaningful representation of women, she needed to rally the support of other women in order to amplify their voices. And have we not just seen G-Sport do this for all of us for the past 17 years, really just putting women in sport on the trajectory and representing us so well. So can we have a round of applause for that? So we will call on Omam Hazel Gumede to come and just open up for us here this morning. Can we please give her a round of applause?
My job is just easy, is to welcome all of you. So a warm welcome on behalf of G-Sport Trust. Today we host the first ever G-Sport Hall of Fame lunch. It is the first one. Yes. So with this lunch, we're reflecting on today's what the women in sport did. So we reflect on the journey to date and acknowledge previous winners on the Momentum G-Sport Awards stage. Alongside our former Hall of Fame, the winners, we also present here is the G-Sport partners, the selected finalists. I'm sure they are nervous for this year's awards, and past Momentum G-Sport Awards winners. The theme of this lunch is Power of Recognition. And our 2022 edition is dedicated to women's empowerment pioneer, Charlotte Maxeke. As we say thank you to those women in sport who have paved way for the current generation. I remember being honored on the Momentum G-Sport Award in only second year of G-Sport existence. It was in 2007. In 2006, it was the swimming legend, Penny Haynes. It was such an honor for me. I even got goosebumps because I thought a girl from Soweto being honored and on such a platform and being honored by the legend, Penny Haynes. I really enjoyed, and I saw her smile, and that was a fulfillment. So for me, that day was affirmation of saying, girl, you are powerful. Girl, you are worthy. In most of the time, we pull each other down as women, but now we say, down with PhD, and we picking up PHU. That is, pull her up.
I want to say thank you very much to Nontokozo Madansela and Charlotte Nsubuga Mukasa, two strong women leaders in the boardroom from Momentum Metropolitan Holdings. Unfortunately, they couldn't be with us today. But if it weren't for the strong decisions that they made in the boardroom, we wouldn't be here with a brand new event, a build-up event to the Momentum G Sport Awards. For many years, we tried so hard to get corporate support for the awards, and it took women champions in the boardroom to stand up and say, yes, actually, we see you, we value you, and we want to support the class of 2022. So I'm trying to put my Nonto hat on for a minute to say, what would she say? And she would say, do it afraid. That is what Nonto says. Whatever you do, do it and do it afraid. And she's got us out of our comfort zone for many years. And I think you'll see in a week's time when we have the awards, we're all shaking and we're all scared, but we're doing it afraid because we believe that women in sport deserve the very best. I think if it wasn't for someone like Penny Haynes who paved the way for us, we wouldn't be here today. And we all have that fangirl moment when we see Penny, right? We see Penny, we see Ilana, we see Desiree, we see Matlatsi, we see Hazel. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here. So it's a very important piece in our journey today, this event, to say thank you to those who've paved the way, and to all the youngsters coming through. Let's do it afraid for the next generation, because we need to have the courage to look ahead. Thank you so much to Vusiwe. You look amazing. You're incredible. And a bit later on, I'll say a big thank you to all our partners. But thank you very much on behalf of Momentum, the G Sport Trust, and the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, who endorsed us in 2015 to say this is a platform that belongs to you and to all of us. Thank you.
I'm so excited. I'm literally counting down the sleeps to go. I think also just getting a chance to dress up after having COVID and not being able to have proper events at like school or so. So I'm just really excited to be amongst this amazing women and just celebrate the night of women power.
So I always say, whatever it is that we do in life, and this is not just for sport, we need to know why we're doing it. You need to have a deeper foundation, a deeper reason, really rooted, I'd want to say, in your gut for why you're doing what you're doing. Because unfortunately, especially in the world of sport, but I think in life in general today, people are pursuing what they perceive to be success, whatever that may be. In sport, it's a medal, a record, maybe some fame, and not in swimming, but in other sports, maybe some money. But as you pursue that, though, the problem is that the journey to success is not like this. It's like that. And so we're all going to go through these dongas of disappointment and depression. And if we don't have a deeper reason to keep us going through those tough times, then we give up prematurely. And I always say that I think there are people out there who are way more talented than what I was in my era. Way more talented than a Michael Phelps per se, than an Ilana Meyer in her era, and I can go on and on. The thing is, we don't know who those people are, because for whatever reason, when they went through these dongas of depression and disappointment, they gave up, because maybe they were doing it for the wrong reason. So I think before I even share any of my story, we need to lay that foundation. And for me, it was quite simply the fact that, first of all, I grew up, as Ilana did, in an era when, and many others here, but when we weren't able to go to the Olympic Games. So I never had that dream of going to the Olympic Games. I knew nothing of the Olympic Games except maybe one moment in time, the theme song of the 84 Olympics, and that's about it. But the reason I swam goes back to an incident when I was very young. I was racing the boy next door in the neighbor's pool, and I beat him. He was 2 years older than me. And his mom said to my mom, they had a discussion, and it came up that I had talent. And this word talent stuck in my mind. And around the same time, growing up in a Christian home, I attended Sunday school, and there's a parable where the Lord talks about the master gives talent to his 3 servants. Now, talent back in biblical days was like money, I guess. It's a weight measurement, but the word talent made me sit up and listen. And as the story goes, the master says to the guy he has 5 talents, to the next guy he has 2, and he has 3 talents. 1 talent to the third guy. Go and use your talent. And the guy with the 5, he put it to use and he doubled it to 10. The guy with the 2 put it to use, doubled it to 4. But the guy with the 1 talent, for whatever reason, maybe he was, I don't know, lazy or afraid, but he buries the talent. He does nothing with it. And after some time, the master comes back and he says, well done to the guy with the 10 talents. Well done to the guy with the 4. And then he goes to the one who hid his talent and he reprimands him and says, you wicked servant, why did you not use the talent I gave you? And it's almost like this holy fear came upon me. I suppose that was my foundation. But I knew someday I'm going to stand before my maker and answer for that which I was gifted with. And I wanted to be able to say I did the absolute best I could with the talent that I was given. And that was the golden thread throughout my career. Because maybe you young athletes have not reached this point yet. But Laura, how old are you now? 18? 19? Oh, by the time I reached 19, I'd wanted to retire twice already. How many times have you wanted to retire? Oh, listen up, coach. No, but the thing is that had it not been for this golden thread that kept me going, I would have stopped at the Barcelona Olympic Games. There was only one highlight from the game. No, actually two highlights from the Barcelona Olympic Games. The one was the cafeteria, okay? And then the other was Ilana Meyer's 10,000. And that was a nice way to round off the games. But other than that, my performances at the Olympic Games were dismal. I came 33rd and 34th. That's very close to last place. And I remember after the first week, the swimming's done and the swimmers go on, I don't know, sightseeing and partying and whatever they did. And I went back to my dormitory because I had a problem. You see, I believe, first of all, we're all born for a reason. God has a purpose for our lives, a destiny, and he equips us accordingly. And part of that would be, let's call it this toolbox of various things. And the first thing we're given is talent. So it's important for us to recognize our talent. So for those of you who are parents in this venue, I almost said the room, and it's important that you encourage the youth to recognize their talent. Not your talent, not your dreams, theirs. Secondly, I believe God gives us opportunity. And here was my problem. In that moment, having come 33rd and 34th, very close to last place, I hated swimming. If someone had come to me at the Olympic Games in Barcelona and said to me, you're going to the next games, I would have said, you're crazy. I'm going to retire from swimming. I'm in matric, I'm finishing up my studies, and then I think it's time to retire. If they had said you'd go to the next Olympic Games and you'd win a medal, it's even more crazy. And I cannot even begin to tell you how absolutely crazy it would have been to think 2 gold medals. So the point I want to make is that when you're in one of these moments, these dongas of disappointment, you cannot see what your potential future may be. The only way you get there is by keeping on. And you can only do that when you have that something deeper that motivates you in the down times.
Wow, 16 years ago when Kaz and Rake launched this initiative as for the G Sport Awards and actually Hall of Fame initially, for me to be the first inductee, obviously a great honor. And I think it was the beginning of something that, as we look back now, has really grown as an initiative and honored women in sport over the years in an immense way. And to have been the inaugural inductee of something like this is really an honor looking back.
Let's move on to you. You've been nominated before for the G Sport Awards and you're nominated again. For you, what does it mean? Because I think for many, they could say, well, I didn't win, I don't want to do it again. But it's the fact that people are recognizing the work that you're doing. They're recognizing the strides and just, the role that you play in giving women in sports a platform.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. And I must say, everyone is looking absolutely ravishing. It's absolutely great to be recognized, especially by women also in the industry. It's a way of encouragement. But not only that, there's so many women out there that are doing what they love like us. And they're not really getting paid for doing what they love, and they do it very exceptionally well. And most of us, obviously, we're not doing it for the money, but the fact that you're being recognized for what you're doing instills a sense of pride, man. Like, you just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this and I'm actually kicking ass, and there are people out there that are seeing what I'm doing. So it feels so great to know that there are people that are watching you, that are clapping for you, and you, when you feel like you recognize, you just like, you know what, let me keep pushing, because there's so many things that you face. As Penny said earlier on, it's an up and down situation. Sometimes you feel like giving up, but when you have your fellow colleagues, especially women, saying, hey man, let's keep going, then you just feel encouraged to keep moving. So I really, really appreciate G Sport and the opportunity that they give us.
This question, what it feels like to be recognized. I don't know. I always say when someone recognizes the hard work that you put in, before, you know, the actual playing on the field, that person is special, and that person deserves a round of applause because they actually know what greatness is, and they actually know what hard work is. And I'm grateful that GS Sport has always been there for women and has always recognized greatness. And I will forever embrace this moment because this is a moment where I've always prayed for and, you know, prepared for. And when I walked on that stage to receive that trophy, I then clapped for myself because I won it for the first time with my club, Mamelodi Sundowns, and now winning it as first time with my national team. Super special because there you represent each and every South African.
Zizojika izinto tulamtana mwenukhalela. Yeah, they used to say sport is for men, but now it has changed. Firstly, I would like to thank G-Sport. It was on 2015 when they started to add supporters. Supporters were not there before. And guess who won 2015 Supporter of the Year? Obvious. Then I come back again, 2016, obvious. So to be recognized, I'm telling you, it's a nice thing. Even if it doesn't give me a cent, but saying, Mama Joy, I can see what you have been doing. You are supporting. Thank you for your support. That's enough. And to tell you the honest fact, to be a supporter, it's not simple. People can think Mama Joy is chacharach, but I love football. I love supporting because I also know Kes Naidu from the cricket, which means I support every sport. So personally, I would like to thank Kes Naidu. You see, today I'm wearing Sun Goddess. You know who introduced me to Sun Goddess? Kes Naidu. Thank you, Kes, for recognizing me as a supporter and also making me to know the higher people there because now, Sun Goddess, all the dresses that you see I'm wearing at the stadium with a flag, it's from Sun Goddess. Every dress, even the one I'm wearing from Morocco's coach, Desiree, Sun Goddess. So to be recognized as a supporter, you know, I am so happy. And I remember sharing a stage, presenting an award with Kes Naidu, you know, Feather Awards. For me to be a supporter, it's no longer like going to the stadium and then watch the game and go home. It's part of my life. I can tell you, even here, you can ask our coach, Coach Desiree, when we were at Morocco, the first time when she comes to the supporters, she came to me. I don't know if she still recognizes. I was crying, like really, there's a lot of Moroccans, and here we are. We have won this trophy. She came with the trophy. She was crazy. I don't know if she remembers. She was crazy. And then, you know, I shed a tear with her. She was crying, if you didn't see. Like, I remember when I was there, Andile will tell you. She will tell you. She's here. I'm not lying. To be a supporter is a job, guys. In the morning, I will call Andile and Andile, let's pray for the game. She will tell you she's here, I'm not lying. Then we pray for the game and say, please, kungangeni na bola ya iwan ka Andile. I don't even want even a single goal to be scored. Please,
please, my God, please, Lord, help Andile not to, because if you win a single goal, like, she knows, she can tell you, I'm not lying. To be a supporter is not easy, guys.
Yeah, I am so happy to be recognized by G-Sport because I'm the first supporter to win this, 2015, 2016. And for me, it was like I have won a lotto because to be recognized, somebody is saying what I'm doing, for me is very much important. And I can say many things, but when it comes to G-Sport awards, yes, I salute for them because they've made me Mama Joy.
We have these awards and everyone gets honored at the awards, but what about the journey that we've traveled? The ones that won since 2006 that have paved the way. I think it's important to have a moment where we reflect on how far we've come. And every time we talk about the beginning, we say we would never have had the courage to launch an audacious initiative in 2006 if we didn't believe in ourselves, and we did because of Penny. When Penny won double goals at Atlanta in 1996, I remember as a teenager thinking, oh my word, I am so inspired. And then 10 years later, I got the opportunity in a small room at the old Westcliff Hotel with 20 women to induct Penny into the G-Sport Hall of Fame. And since then, we've had 16 champions. So what we did was we made 16 calls and we said, let's see who can come. And out of 16, we are so proud to say that 9 Hall of Famers from over the years are here today.
No, most definitely, it was just exciting times, not just for women in football, but I think for women in sport. Because I think it changed the narrative completely. People are now talking about equal pay across the board for women, not just women in football. And I think the players don't realize the magnitude of what it is that they've done. But it's more than just them winning the WAFCON gold medal for the first time. But it's opened up doors, it's opened up opportunities, and I think it's really been an exciting month. But the end to the month, or the beginning of the month, has not been so good. But it's a challenge that we wanted, to test ourselves.